I teach artists how to market their paintings online organically. It's Amy from Amy Parker Art and founder of Creative Warriors. So, good morning, Creative One. I am here on my porch having my coffee, and I was brainstorming like I usually do in my notebook, and I was thinking, um, about all the different home art studios that I've created for myself throughout the years, and I just wanted to go over some of those little tips and tricks that I've used myself to create a home studio. Um, Basically, even when I had no room to do so. I still don't even really have my own, you know, special spot room, like a spare room. But I currently have a good setup right now. I'm using my old home hair salon, and I converted that into an art studio because I do work at home as a full-time artist, and I love to help other artists out and show you guys what I do and talk about what I do and help you with your art businesses as well. So cheers. I do want to let you know Creative Warriors is open right now. You can get in by, I didn't put the link in here because I'm outside on my porch and I'm not on the computer right now. But it's easy to find. You can find it right here on my business page, Amy Parker Art. I do have it in numerous videos that I've just posted for you guys throughout the past couple of days. It's also on my cover photo right here on Amy Parker Art. If you touch the cover photo, it'll give you the link to go and sign up as a Creative Warrior. You can also find it on my homepage on amyparkerart.com. So we're talking about home art studios, and I would love to know if you have a home art studio right now. If so, then join in the convo this morning, and I'm just going to give you some ideas on what I've used for mine in the past. And you know, if you don't have a lot of space, maybe I can give you some ideas to make space, right? Because where there's a will, there's a way. And we're creative people, so we can brainstorm and come up with some ideas. Let me know when you're here. Sometimes this platform's letting me see comments, sometimes it is not. So I'm hoping this morning that I can see what you're saying. So let me know where you're from, and good morning to you all out there. I'm up here in New Hampshire, and I still have a jacket on, even though it's May. It's still a little bit chilly, but it's a beautiful day. Can you guys hear the birds singing? I love the birds. We have so many birds in our yard. It's awesome. All right, so I don't know if you want to get a pen and paper too, maybe jot down some little ideas in case I spark some interest for you, or you can just put it right here in your brain or come back to this video. I always put all my videos right here on the page. And if you don't want to miss when I am live, go ahead and tap my face, hit the bell so that you can get notified and all that fun stuff. So, a place. First of all, we need a place in our homes to have a home art studio, right? So let me just talk a little bit about what I've done in the past, especially with not really having a lot of space. So when I bought my house, and my kids were little, and we didn't have an extra room, I actually used, for a portion of my time, I used the entrance of my house. We have a few different entrances, but the front entrance where you come into like a little mud room, and there's a closet there. So my amazing husband took off our doors to the closet because we had those sliding doors. We took the closet doors off, and I literally used that little nook of a closet for my art studio. believe it or not. And the reason we took the doors off, obviously, I don't want to be locked in a closet. And plus, it's not very deep, right? The closet wasn't too deep. So we took off the doors, put a little desk in there, and my chair would come out into the mudroom a little bit. And it was fine. I had some shelves set up, and it worked for me to get started and to have a little space there. So there's an idea for you. Even if you don't have a mudroom, if you have a closet that you could use, take off the doors, or you can even put like a little curtain on, you know, put up a rod, put some curtains, and just slide back and forth to cover it up when you're not using it. That would work as well. We don't really need a lot of space. We just need a place to get started. So as well, in the past, I literally have used my kitchen table. You guys can do that. You don't even need to have even a nook of a closet space if you don't have that. Use your kitchen table. That is possible. I've done that. And if you don't want to get paints all over your table, all you need to do is, well, I mean, let me know if you have any other creative ideas, but I've done 2 different things with the kitchen table. I use my drop cloth, my canvas drop cloth that I used to carry around everywhere when I did a lot of murals, and I used to just put that over the table and paint right there on the kitchen table. Of course, using the kitchen table, I know, especially if you've got kids and things like that, we can't leave it messy all the time. We got to clean up our mess so that we can eat dinner, right? But at least using the kitchen table is a makeshift option for right now if you don't have a space or nook. Another thing to cover the table, just go to the dollar store and buy either the cheap party tablecloths for $1 or get a shower curtain for $1, right? Because I've used the shower curtain as well as the party table covers, the plastic ones. You just lay them over there, and then once those get really messy, you just crumble them up, chuck it away, right? So, you know, I have used the kitchen table before. Let me know if you've done that. And another place that I have set up a space when I didn't have much room. I still do this today if I'm just kind of relaxing, watching TV or whatever, and I want to draw or paint in the living room. I literally just used a TV tray, okay? We have the wooden TV trays that, you know, you just fold out, fold them up. You can put them behind the couch, lean them against the wall. Just grab a TV tray. Of course, if you're painting a large painting, that's probably not going to work unless you set up your easel and have your TV tray for your supplies. That would work. I've done that too. But if you want to work right on the table, then if you're painting an 8x10 or you're working in your art journal, drawing pad, something like that, then TV trays would work fine. If you have more than one, then set up one for your workspace, set up one for your supplies, and just you know, set up in the living room and use that. That would work just fine to get started. I have as well, because I'm one of those people that I like to redecorate once in a while. I like to move things around. I think it's good for all of us, really, even if you're not creative. Just good for our soul and good for the whole feng shui or whatever you call that, right? To kind of move things around and redecorate. So when I was set up with my art studio, my little mudroom closet, and I decided to redecorate, move things around, I actually set up a space to create down in my basement. Now, I have an old house. My house was built in the 30s, so it's pretty old, and I do not have, I'm showing you this can be possible, I do not have a refinished basement. Of course, that would be nice to have someday, but I don't have that. My basement literally is a dirt floor, and it has stone walls, right, for the foundation. So what we did was we poured gravel on the dirt, and then we laid thick plastic on top of that. So that's what we did for the floor, right? And then I actually laid some rugs on top of that, because in my home, I only have one room that has wall-to-wall carpeting. All the other rooms we use just area rugs. So, you know, in the house, the area rugs, the kids, the dogs, you have to get rid of them, right? You got to get new ones once in a while, unless you're really good at washing and you got a good, you know, steam cleaner for your carpet. So I grabbed the area rugs that I needed to get new ones for anyway, put those down in my basement on top of the plastic. So that's how I kind of fixed the floor up, right? And what I did is I used some of the fold-out tables. You can get them at like Walmart for either 4 foot, 6 or 8 feet. I think they come in, let's see, the ones that I've had and still do have are 4 foot, and I do have one that is 6. I don't have the 8 foot ones, but they do make those. Maybe they even make 12. I don't know. I could be wrong there, but so those are the foldable ones that you can fold up, lean against the wall to make space. But anyway, so I don't have a refinished basement, but I just told you what I did with the floor. And then my husband's the DJ, and he does sound for big bands and stuff like that as well. So he has a lot of those fold-out tables. So he gave me a couple of those to use, and literally I think we got them at Walmart. So I put those in the basement on top of that makeshift floor that I made. And instead of putting those tables against the wall, because if you don't have a refinished basement, you don't want to put all of your artwork and supplies and even things that you store for the kids and stuff like that. You don't want to put that stuff against the wall. You want to keep it up off the floor and away from the wall. So I set up like an L shape with the foldable tables. And I kept it like a foot or two away from the wall, and we got a dehumidifier, because if you're like me and you don't have a refinished basement, sometimes it can get, you know, the air's a little damp down there, especially in the springtime, like right now, because everything is melting. And you know, thank goodness we don't have a flooding issue. If you have a flooding issue and you have a sub pump, do not set up an art studio in your basement. But if you don't, then this could be an idea. So that's what I did. If you guys are commenting, I'm sorry, I can't see comments right now. Sometimes there's little glitches where I can see, sometimes I can't see. So, or maybe you haven't commented. So if you're watching, just shoot me a hi or hello or whatever, so I can see if anything pops up here. That would be greatly appreciated. And cheers to you if you're having your morning coffee with me. If you're just joining me, I'm Amy from Amy Parker Art and founder of Creative Warriors, where I help artists market their paintings online. So right now we are talking about different ways to set up a space in your home for a home art studio, especially if you want to work right out of your home like I do as an artist. So we're talking about the basement. So that's how I set up the basement, and I used that for a while. Now, I will tell you, in the basement, it's pretty dim. It's pretty gloomy. Like, you need a good lighting source down there. So I got the bright white bulbs at Lowe's and made sure that, you know, I screwed those in so we had some nice white clear light, as well as we used to have chickens, so we had some of those clamp like chicken lights, and I put those around the room as well. I even used to hook them like onto my wooden easel and like point them at my table if I was drawing or painting on my table easel. The clamp lights are great because they're inexpensive and they're easy to maneuver, clamp anywhere, and just point at the source that you need the light on. So there you go with some lighting ideas for a dingy basement. Now, I did not keep my finished work down there. I will let you know that. Whenever I had finished a piece for a collector or customer, whether it be a drawing or painting or whatever, I would not keep that in my basement. I would take that upstairs, and I actually would stack those. I still have numerous ones stacked on my piano, top of my piano. So I would just find a space in your house and not keep that in the basement, even if you have a dehumidifier, just in case. You want to make sure that your artwork and your hard work that you put into your artwork does not get ruined, okay, if you're using your basement. But I did use the basement for an entire season, and it worked out for me. Like I said, the kids were younger. I didn't have a lot of space upstairs in the house. Now, also, I have drawn and painted just laying in my bed at night. I have one of those big puffy like arm pillow things that I would put behind me, lean against the wall. And I've used numerous things for my lab to actually draw and paint on. But one in particular I remember years ago that I used to use, and it's such a cool idea, and it really was like one of my favorite things to use. I don't even know what they're called, but I will describe it to you in case you know what I'm talking about. Let's see, my daughter Justine had it. It was for her to do like her homework in bed and stuff like that. It had a hard top on it, and underneath was a sort of like a bean bag kind of thing. So it was soft and movable, and it had a hard top on it. I'm pretty sure we probably got it at Walmart because we do a lot of shopping there. And I'm not sure if they come in different sizes or not, but the one that we had was probably like a 16 by 20 size. And I would just sit in bed at night with that big back pillow leaned there, and put that little top with a hard top on my lap and draw and paint right on that. I also had I used to use my nightstand on one side for my supplies, and then if I wanted to use supplies and have them on my bed, I would just grab a cookie sheet or the deep like casserole dishes, like, so we have numerous ones of those, and that way I would put my water, my paints, my brushes, everything right in there. I like the deep set ones just in case, you know, you got to spill, the cat jumps on the bed, the dog, whatever, who knows, you got to get up quick. But yeah, I mean, I used that before, so you can do the same thing to draw and paint sitting right in bed. It also works good for the couch, right? So if you want to use something like that on the couch. Just looking at my little notes here that I wrote down as I was brainstorming for you about setting up an art studio space this morning. So let's see, we talked about that. We talked about the bed, the nightstand. Okay, porch, right? I'm sitting on my porch right now. Do you guys have a, if you guys have, this is the greatest, right? My husband actually, above my head, put up one of the easy up tents right over the porch for me. So, well, for him too. So we can sit out here even when it's raining and have our coffee together in the morning. He's not up yet. So he works late at night because he DJs. But I love this space, especially in the spring and the summer, because I can set up my art studio out here as well. So depending on where you live and things like that, or if you have an overhead to protect you from the rain, you may or may not want to use this idea. But I do love painting outside, especially listening to the birds. Listen. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but they're great. It's so inspiring to just be outside and in nature and breathe the fresh air, listen to the birds, and paint outside. So that's why I really love painting on the porch, to be connected more with nature. And you know, this is up to you. You could either leave like some permanent things outside on your porch, if you live in an area where you can do that, and if you have an overhead, like I said. But literally, I just got this tent. We got it at, I don't know, maybe Walmart or Lowe's. Maybe he got it at Lowe's for, maybe it was probably like $100 or $2. Not really sure the exact price, but you know, $1 or $2, I think. And then it lasts like the whole summer, and sometimes even into the winter. If we push the snow off it, it will last. But anyway, during the good weather, you can even put like a little cart, little desk or something, little drawers and stuff outside under that tent space on your porch, and keep some supplies in there. You don't want to keep paints out like in bad weather or freezing weather, right? But during the nice weather, you could do that. Or you can just bring them in little caddies back and forth if you want to spend the day on the porch painting. That's what I normally do. I usually don't leave my supplies outside on the, whoops, sorry, getting a message here. I will get back to you guys, promise. So I will, oops, I gotta check this, I'm sorry. I gotta see what is going on here. Okay, there we go. So we are talking about, so it was somebody about Creative Warriors. I'm open right now for Creative Warriors. So if you guys want to get in as a founding member, just go to my header photo, my cover photo, right here on Amy Parker Art. Touch on that photo and it will give you the link right to go to sign up. It is only $20 per month for a founding member. That's the lowest price it's ever going to be, people. And we're open until the 13th on at midnight. So then we won't open up again until September. So if you get in now, your price will be grandfathered in. It will never go up for as long as you are with me and our other Creative Warrior members. And I'd like to do a big shout out and thank you to all of you that have signed up and joined, because this is the grand opening, the first time. It is literally the birthday of Creative Warriors. So I'm so excited to have you in there and to help you with your art businesses. So right now we are talking about home studios, just giving you guys some ideas. So we're talking about space, like where can you find the space? Now you are golden if you have a spare room, okay? Hello, Karen. Yay, yay. Karen is a Creative Warrior. I'm glad that you're joining me here this morning, honey. Thank you for being here. Let us know, Karen, what you have set up for a home studio space. We would love to know. Just kind of brainstorming, throwing out ideas, especially for those who love to paint and create and wish that they had a space in their home or a little nook or something like that. So if you have any ideas and input, please give it to us. We would love to know. So like I said, if you have a spare room in your home that you can utilize for your studio, you are golden, people. That is like amazing. Oh, which Karen does. She says, my own room. Yay. Woohoo. We love that. But if you don't, we talked about using a mudroom, a closet, your living room, the basement, the kitchen table, even your bed. I mean, we are creative people. We can come up with a way to do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right, so let's see. Let's talk about containers, right? We need containers to keep all of our supplies in, right? So what are some things that we can use for containers? Think about it. What are some things that you have used or are using now? Let me know. Oh, Karen, the back porch as well. That's where I am right now too. And I do love to paint out here on the back porch in the spring and summer. So this is my prime season to be out here listening to the birds and relaxing. So containers. I love the dollar store, okay? I have gotten shoe boxes, the plastic shoe containers, for $1. I mean, I bought 20 of them, right? A whole bunch, because they have the covers. You can put your like loose, heavy body paints in there. Karen, toolbox, yes, woo woo. I as well have used a toolbox in the past. I'm like, Tim, you don't need this. Here's a note. Go buy another one. And I used a toolbox mostly when I was doing a lot of portrait drawings of people and animals in charcoal and pastels, things like that. So I kept a lot of my drawing supplies in a toolbox. Karen, is that what you use yours for? Do you actually put your paints, put your brushes in there? Because you can use it for that as well. The great thing about a toolbox is you can carry it around, right? When I did a lot of in-person stuff, art shows, craft shows, or sat outside the art gallery at my friend Vinny's, I would carry that toolbox around to do those shows. Karen says everything. Yes, way to go, girl. We are great minds think alike, right? Awesome. Okay, so toolbox, perfect example. The plastic bins with the lids, the shoe boxes for $1 at the dollar store. I've used that, and you can stack them easily in your closet or in your space. You can keep your brushes in there, your paints in there. And if you do abstracts like me, I have a bunch of different things like sponges and different texture tools and molding paste and whatever. You can just stack them. I even go as far as like putting a piece of tape on it and I write the name. So when they're stacked, I can be like, oh, okay, there are my texture tools. There's my paint brushes. I don't have that right now because I have my own room set up, right? Like Karen. But in the past, I have used those stackable boxes and just took out what I needed when I needed it. Karen says, fishing tackle box too are awesome. Yes, because you open those up and then it has the little like I don't know, hydraulics or springs or whatever, and you can just pull it and it's like whoops, opens right up and gives you like, it makes it like triple the size when you open those fishing boxes, tackle boxes up. And most of those come with the removable like inserts. So I do remember when I did a lot of portrait drawings, like in person, I would take out those little like dividers, some of the plastic ones, and I would put all of my charcoals in there so that they would fit. So you can do that as well if you have one that has the removable pieces on it. So you can customize it for yourself in your own, art tools that you need. All right, so here's another favorite of mine for containers. I'm all about saving space, people, right? Especially if you don't really have a lot of space. Hopefully these ideas will help you out. Rolling bins. The short, well, you can get them at different depths, right? But I would say, I don't know, what is that? Probably like a foot. I have some that are about this in depth, as well as some more, maybe like 1.5 feet in depth. And they come in different lengths as well. You can get them at Walmart. I'm always at Walmart. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them at a bunch of other stores, I'm sure. But I'm talking about the plastic bins. And they're like, probably come like 3-4 foot, different lengths. And then I like the ones because they come with or without wheels. I always spend the extra few bucks and get the ones with the wheels on it, because I have stored many art supplies under my bed with those. So you just roll them in and out under the bed. I as well labeled those. So I think, let's see, at one point, I'm trying to think of where Tim and I were, because we moved our room around a couple of times. I think we were upstairs when our bedroom was upstairs, and I literally fit 3 of those rollout bins underneath my bed, and one was kind of behind the bar of the bed, so I had to kind of move it a little bit to get it out. But the other two I could easily just roll and pull out, and they have the plastic covers. And one even had the plastic cover you open on one side or the other side. So it was like this, so you could open this way or this way. So cool. And Karen says, love those bins. Also raid my sister-in-law's Tupperware covers. Exactly. Good plan, Karen. Great ideas. Thank you for helping everybody out with these ideas. This is awesome to brainstorm with you. So the rollout bins too. I actually, our bed, we had at the time, we had a metal frame for the bed, and it was not very far off the ground. So I just bought the bed risers, the plastic bed risers. They're like cone shaped, and when we first got those, I'm like, oh my God, that's not going to hold up our bed. But literally, they are so super duper sturdy and strong. Of course, you need two people. Tim held up one side, and I just pushed a cone under. They lift your bed right up, and then I put all those rollable bins right under there. Saved a lot of space. So we're talking about containers, some container ideas for your art supplies for a home studio. Rolling caddy. This is a cool idea as well. Let me know if you have one of these or if you've used this in the past. I used to own a hair salon for many years, and I remember when I was doing perms or colors or whatever, I had, it was when I stood up, it probably came up to like my waist, maybe even a little bit higher. And I got them at the hair supply place, right, where I used to get all my hair supplies for my salon. But they're little rolling caddies, and it's not just for hairdressers. You can use them, probably get them for numerous different reasons. And they come in different sizes, and they have little drawers in them. And I would put my color bowls, like I said, my color, my whatever I needed, for hairdressing. And then when I was in the shop one day, this is many moons ago, because I've been selling my paintings online now consistently for 3 years. So that's what I've been doing. But when I did have the hair salon and I was doing a hair color one day, I'm thinking, this thing would be really cool to have at home. And then I could just kind of roll around my art supplies. I could set up my easel, kind of roll it around wherever I wanted to paint. And voila, there you have a rollable spot for all of your art supplies, your brushes and paints and things like that. So there's another idea for you guys. Let's see. Plastic drawers, just basic plastic drawers at Walmart, right? You can get those in all different sizes, and you can get the different depths as well, because I have some, like there's some up in the girls' room in their closets, because I have an old house, so our closet spaces are not that deep. So I bought the girls those plastic bins, and they have wheels on them as well if you want to get the ones with wheels. And some have huge drawers, or some have just the smaller, depth wise. I actually like the ones for art supplies that have 2 or 3 deep drawers at the bottom, and that have the shorter drawers on the top. That way you can pull the shorter ones out, lay all your brushes in there, and the deep ones at the bottom, you can put your rags in there. You can actually even stand up sometimes your jars with some brushes in there. I've also stacked straight up and down all of my bottled like fluid craft paints, and then just pull the drawer and they're all there. And here's a little tip. Some places when you buy those craft paints will actually have the colored dot on the top of it, but if it doesn't, this is what I do. I just open it up, take my finger, put a dot of color on the top, so that way if you have them stacked like that and you pull the drawer out, you can see what color you're going to grab. Super easy. You don't have to go digging through everything. Karen says, I have a 12 drawer rolling caddy that goes under my bench and a 4 drawer wicker caddy too. Awesome, Karen. That is wonderful. Boy, those are great. Love the wheels. Go with what Karen does. Use the rolling, because you guys can move it around. You know, I'm right-handed. Maybe you're right-handed as well. Maybe you're left-handed. But having that caddy that you can roll around, it's like, okay, now I need it on this side, or now I want to move my chair because the light's this way. Whatever it is, as you're painting, you can move that caddy around, and really helps out a lot. So my last little thought on the containers, this one doesn't even have a cover, but just the plastic caddies, right, that you put like under your sink, kitchen sink or bathroom sink with all of your cleaning supplies. You just grab one of those. I've gotten a bunch of these at the dollar store, and I still have them in my studio right now. They have paint stuck in them. But a caddy that you can carry around and put your brushes, a jar of brushes, you can put your water there, you can put your paints, a rag, whatever you need to paint, and you can either carry it around the house, or you can go paint in plein air out in your yard and just carry the caddy around. Karen says, I don't know what it's called, but it's a lot of drawers attached to the wall. I'll post to the feed later. Yes, Karen, please do. That would be very, very helpful. Thank you. I'm loving your ideas, girl. That's awesome. Cheers to you all if you're just joining me. I'm sitting on my porch having my morning coffee, and I was brainstorming this morning, writing down all kinds of ideas for your home art studio, even if you don't have space. So we've been talking now a while about things that you can do and how to set up a home art studio so that you can actually do this, right? If you don't know me, I'm Amy from Amy Parker Art and founder of Creative Warriors. Creative Warriors is the membership that I have set up for you that is actually open right now. So if you want to get in as a founding member, do so, because what is today? Is today Wednesday? It is Wednesday, I believe. So doors close tomorrow night at midnight. So the 13th, Thursday night, then when the chance is gone, it's gone, right? So I want you to become a creative warrior, like Karen. She's a creative warrior, and your price will never go up. You will be grandfathered in. Look, she's telling you guys, join. She knows I'm giving you guys everything that I can, because I love helping my creative community. So anyway, if you want to get in, I did not pin the link here because I'm outside on my porch and not on my computer, but you can easily find it on my website, amyparkerart.com. It's right there on the front page. You can as well find it right here on my Facebook page, Amy Parker Art, by looking at the cover photo and touching that. The link to sign up is right there. All right, so we talked about places in your house on where you could set up an art studio. If you missed it, you can watch a replay after. I always leave my replays on here for you guys. We just talked about containers, and Karen had a bunch of ideas for you on containers. So if you missed that, go ahead and check it out after we're done here. It will be on the page. Shelving. Let's talk about shelving. Let me tell you, bookshelves are pretty amazing for an art studio. I've used many bookshelves for this. And I also like the ones that you can take out the shelves, right? So once again, like just using Walmart for an example, because we do buy a lot of stuff there. You could get a bookshelf. The ones that I know, it's kind of a pain in the butt if you have to assemble them, right? It's like, oh yeah, put D into E and do this A and B and C and this. When Tim's working and I have to put together and assemble something like that, I'm like, Tim, when are you going to be home? But anyway, if you take a deep breath and assemble it, you'll be good. Just takes a little practice. But the movable shelves are great because you can stack tall paint brushes. You can put the shelves on different levels and put little mini canvases in there. You can use shelvings for numerous art supplies. Oh my gosh, Karen, you are lucky. You have a handyman like I do. That is great. She says, hubby made mine, bragging. You should brag. And yay, hubby. Tell him I said high five, good job, and thank you for doing that for you. That's awesome. Yes, if you guys are lucky to have a hubby like Karen, then tell him, hey, make me some shelving for my home art studio. But bookshelves, like I said, and you can get them on all different sizes. Right now I have one that I put in my studio on top of my table. So instead of bending down, because I have a bad back, instead of bending down and trying to find my supplies, I'm like, whatever, I'm going to put this right on my table and lean it against my wall. You guys probably see in all my other videos, it's behind my head and it's on the table leaning against the wall. I still have a bunch of room in front of me to actually draw and paint, but I did put that shelf up on the table, stacked all my paints on that so I can easily walk up to the table, grab the paints. So that I love your little gift there. Is cute, Karen. That is cute. Lillian, hello and welcome. Hi, Sarah's neighbor. Great idea. Awesome, Lillian. I'm so glad that you're here. Yay. Lillian, let us know what you do for creations. I didn't even know that you were an artist. I would love to hear what you do, what you paint and create. Awesome, Lillian. Where are you? We're on shelving right now. So bookshelves, we just went through that. Listen, if you guys are like super frugal like me, let me tell you what I've done. Oops, sorry. There was like a motorcycle or something going by. Let me tell you what I've done that basically costs zero. I went in my basement, and this is when I needed a shelf, right? I had one of my tables set up, and I'm like, I didn't have any place to put my paints except on the table, but I wanted room. So I'm like, how can I make more room? I went down in my basement. We were painting inside the house at the time, so we had some cans from Lowe's. So I grabbed 2 paint cans, put one on each end of the table, grabbed a board that my husband had in the basement, and literally just laid the board on top of those 2 paint cans. And then underneath, I had all this space for supplies, and then on top I put all my brushes. So just get creative, you guys, even like that. I've even done the same thing with slate, because I had someone give me a huge stack of large slates. So I did the same thing with that. I put some paint cans and just put a slate on top of it and use that and use the space underneath. Lillian says, I am no artist, LOL. Oh my gosh, Lillian, you're funny. That's okay. You're still welcome to be here. If you do know artists that would like to be here, just let them know. But Lillian, I'm glad that you're here and joining in the convo. So thank you. Thank you for that. And even if you're not an artist, I'm sure you have some ideas on how everyone can create a home studio, right? Because right now we're talking about shelving. Here's another idea. And these are all ideas that I've used. And if you guys have other ideas, let everyone know. I have gotten the foldable wire shelves. You can get them at Home Goods, or you can get them at Walmart. I'm always saying that. Like, geez, maybe I should affiliate for Walmart. But anyway, the folding wire shelves. I love the ones that are corner ones, okay? So you open it up and it's like this, and then you just push it right into the corner, and then it has different shelves that you pull up and you hook on. And the ones that you can do that with, once again, you can customize it for the height that you need, like for your brushes. So you can, I've folded one down so that I could fit more brushes. Basically, the foldable wire shelves are great. Very lightweight, by the way, so you can move those around. And the corner ones are awesome because it just goes in a nook in the corner and you can go grab what you need. I as well had put one of these on top of my large table in the corner, so that I would have a space up higher on the table. So that's another idea for shelving. Karen says, I'd love some ideas about sheets of watercolor paper. Okay, let me brainstorm here for a second. You know, I don't know if this would work, Karen, but one thing is coming to me. Actually, a couple of ideas are coming to me right now. I'm not a watercolor artist, but this may work because I've thought about the same thing for my acrylic paintings. I think I got this at Lowe's, if I remember correctly. I got a, it was over in the kitchen section. And I'm close up to the phone, so I can't really show you how big, but it was probably like 2 feet long wire rack. There is a big bug flying around me. Hopefully he's gone. Hopefully you guys don't see me get stung in real time out here. Knock on wood. Oh, is there any wood around here? So they actually, it was a wire rack, and it's like got curves all in it. So actually, let me draw it out. So it looks like this. It's you know, sort of like that. It's kind of like rounded like that, and then it has these little spaces, right? And it's to go underneath your cupboard for your either cookie sheets or your covers, your to your pots, so you can stack all those in there. Watercolor paper, depending on what you know, thickness you're using. I know some of them are pretty thick. You could probably use something like that and just put those in there like as they're drying, or if you want to put them in there to just stack and grab what you know, thickness you want. That may work for you. If it's too like flimsy, once you put the paper in there, you could also just put pieces of cardboard in there and then stack in your papers. But that may work. I'm not sure if that would help you. But another idea that I came up with, my husband's also very, very handy. And we do have a carpenter friend who's very handy. He's made a lot of frames for my paintings, for my collectors who have wanted frames in the past. I don't do framing anymore, but he did help me out, especially for art shows and stuff when I was presenting my work. But anyway, so when I talk to those two together, it's like, oh, I come up with ideas. So I as well had the same issue, Karen, years ago when it came to like Canson paper for my portrait drawings and stuff. I wanted a place where I could just go and pull those papers out, and I don't have it anymore, but my friend Brian and Tim, they actually created this thing for me. It was like a box, and it had just really thin, the outside was like thicker wood, but inside they somehow used this, like, I don't even know what you call it because I'm not a carpenter, but it's some kind of tool that they can like route out like lines on a board, right? So they did that on 2 boards and they put them together, and it did have a back piece on it as well. And then they got these little thinner boards and cut them to that size of the box, and then slid those in there so that I could lay all of my Canson paper in there. And I actually used to use it for my drawing pads and things like that. So Karen, I know that's something that your hubby probably could come up with to make, but if you wanted to do it yourself, you literally could do it with like pizza boxes and build your own, because hey, cardboard would be fine. Just get a big box and put pizza boxes in there, and obviously not used ones. Maybe just go to a pizza place and be like, hey, can I buy a few boxes off you? And then take your X-Acto knife and cut out the front and the back and slide those in there so you can have some. Use your hot glue gun, or I think better yet, to assemble something like that, if you can kind of see what I'm talking about, I would use packing tape, because packing tape on cardboard will hold up well. I ship so many paintings all around the country, and packing tape on cardboard will work good. Karen says, okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I read your comment. I hope that helps you out, Karen. Hope that gives you some ideas. Karen says, that second idea is exactly what I need. I use Fabrino Artistico 300. Yeah, so try that, because I like to think too, Karen, like when you are actually shopping for your art supplies and you're in Hobby Lobby or Michael's or whatever, and you're looking around, it's like, I try and make a mental note, like, how are they displaying all this stuff, and how could I come up with an idea to make this? So if you have the room, which you do, Karen, because you have your own room for your art studio, then yes, if you have the room, then come up with some ideas and go for it. So just plain old boxes would probably work. So anyway, over the toilet storage, that sounds weird, I know, but I have, one of my bathrooms is very tiny, and we have one of those shelving units that goes over the toilet, right? For, you can put some towels in there, you can put your toothbrush, whatever you need to store in there. Those work great as well. For art supplies, and they're not very wide. It's tiny. It's going to fit over your toilet, so you could put that in a little nook in your house next to your desk or whatever, and where it goes over the toilet, there's a whole space underneath that you can stack up your canvases in, and you could also use that space. I had a squirrel moment trying to think of what else I've used it for. I've used it for canvases. What else? I don't remember now. But anyway, it's definitely a good idea for a small storage unit to use for art supplies. They come in different, they make those in different ways. Like I have a wire one, and there's also the wooden ones. And you can also get plastic ones. So just go shop around and check them out and see what they have for over the toilet storage. Some have like little drawers that you can open, and some have shelves, and some have both combined. So perfect for, you know, a home art studio. Karen says, oh my God, that's a great idea. Pads, yes, you could use those. You store those as well. Awesome ideas. Now here's the plain and simple, obvious idea that I didn't mention in the beginning, but as far as shelving goes for your home art studio, and Tim did this for me, thank goodness. It was awesome when I first set up my studio in my room. He literally just got the L brackets and a long board, and he's like, how long do you want this shelf? I'm like, the whole length of the room. So he did that. He just put up L brackets on the studs and just put up, I think it was probably, I'm going to guess it was probably like a foot or maybe even a little bit longer than that, lengthwise for the board, just like a pine board at Lowe's. And that's it. And just put that shelf all along the wall in my art studio. And I had tons of space. I would put all of my paints and brushes up there. I also I loved the pine because it wasn't hard wood. And what I used is my tacks, and I would just push the tacks in there all along that little piece in front of the wood, and I would hang different things on there than I needed to for my creations and as I was working. So also I used S hooks on like some of those tacks to put other things on. In one of the L brackets, one time on the shelf, the L brackets had like it was sort of like a triangle that was covered in, and then I hooked those. I don't even know what you call them. Actually, I have one up here. Probably can't see it, but it's on this pretty little thing. Those little clips, they're metal clips that you push in the side, and I hooked that onto the side of the L brackets, and then I could hang different things. Like I actually hung a basket, little wicker basket, and I put more supplies in that. So just get creative. There's all kinds of ideas that you can come up with for storing your art supplies. If you're just joining me, I'm Amy from Amy Parker Art and founder of Creative Warriors. Creative Warriors is open right now. You can go to my website, amyparkerart.com. It's right there on the front page. You can jump in as a founding member for $20 a month. We are only open until the 13th at midnight. Your price will never go up as long as you are a creative warrior. And I teach artists how to market their paintings online. I show you how to do your own auctions, shows, parties, all of this as organically as possible so that you can save money. You can just get started and going right from the comfort of your own home. We have a beautiful, wonderful, warm-hearted community that we are building right now. Karen is also a founding member of Creative Warriors, so we would love to welcome you in. Karen says, skirt hangers, if you get them in the U.S., are great for hanging paintings to dry. I don't know what that is. I'm going to write that down and look that up. Skirt hangers. Oh, hangers. Skirt hangers. Hangers. I'm going to check that out and see what that is. Thank you, Karen, for that. Thank you. All right, so we are going to go... I'm just going to talk about desks and tables real quickly, and then I'm going to go re-warm up my coffee because it's getting a little cold out here. So desks and tables for your home art studio. Once again, earlier we talked about kitchen table. If you need to, use your kitchen table. Just protect it. Thank you, Karen. She's going to send a photo. Thank you for that. Fold-out tables, we talked a little bit about the living room, like TV trays, fold-out tables. That's great. And a card table. Now, when I used to rent a condo years ago and the kids were tiny, I had a fold-out card table. I loved that because when the kids went to bed, I would open that up, sit that in front of the couch, turn on the TV or some music, and I would just draw and paint right there on that fold-out card table. I loved it because it's bigger than a TV tray, so it gave me more space, but it's still small enough that I could fit it right behind my couch, and then when the kids got up in the morning, they didn't have a big mess to knock over. So that was wonderful to use for a desk at the time when I needed it. The folding tables we talked about earlier, that my husband loves to use as a DJ and sound engineer. He carries around all kinds of those folding tables. People use them, banquet tables, stuff like that. So if you have the room, I have 2 of those in my studio currently. I like to set them up once in a while as an L shape so I can kind of like work in that space. But if you need to make makeshift room, then you can use the folding tables. So they come in all different lengths and sizes, so those are wonderful. If you can keep something stationary, then I recommend using a desk. You know, have a desk for your arts, your crafts. I love the ones with the drawers, especially the one that has the top drawer when you sit into the desk. And so I've used, my girls both have desks from, you know, up in their rooms when they were younger, for doing their homework. Well, Emily is still in college. She has 1 more semester to go. She's almost there. But desks are great because they have the drawers on either side, typically. The wooden ones that I have anyway, and then the skinnier drawer on the top that you can pull out to lay your brushes in. So if you can have a place to have a desk set up, do that. I mean, those come in all different shapes and sizes as well, too, right? I mean, you can get the ones that are more like contemporary looking if you just want them made out of metal and they just have like the cool looking legs and there's no shelves. That's fine. Drawers, I meant. Oh my gosh, there's a beautiful chickadee right there on my bird feeder. Oh my God, it is so cute. I just fed them this morning. He's eating up all that birdseed. And it had some mealworms in it. I'm like, ooh, I didn't know there's mealworms in here. But, yep, he sure liked that. Sorry about that. I was just trying to enjoy the nature around me. So, kitchen table, fold-out tables. Look at Goodwill, Salvation Army, garage sales, yard sales. Literally, you guys can probably get something for like $5 if you look hard enough. Yes, Karen, I saw that you said that in Creative Warriors. You paint birds. I love birds. Linda Arsenault, who's also a Creative Warrior, you girls should talk because she loves to paint birds as well. And you guys go ahead and show us your paintings in Creative Warriors. Linda already has some in there. We would love to see. That's awesome. So, yes, so go shopping on a dime, really. I mean, this is the season, right, for yard sales and things like that. You can find something. Vanities. You can use a vanity. One of my kids was into makeup and the other one wasn't, but Emily had a vanity, and when she didn't want that one anymore, I used that for a little nook of an art studio. Let's see. Oh, also, because I owned a hair salon, and it's actually right underneath, well, kind of behind the camera here, I have a rollout nail table where you do like manicures. You can get it at like Sally's or any places where they do like hair stuff or sell, hairdressing stuff. But it's probably not even just that. You could probably find one at Lowe's or something. But it has metal legs and it has wheels. And then the top is just probably like 2.5 feet long. Looks like maybe 3 feet long. And it's like a couple feet long depth-wise this way. And then it has a little tray right underneath it that you can pull out where you would put all your nail supplies. But I put all my little tiny like painting supplies. So like a little mini version if I want to work out here on the porch. So that's great too because you can move it around. Karen says 2 bedside tables and an old door. Yes, oh my gosh, I love how creative you are. That is a perfect idea. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here in a moment, but I am so glad that you spent time with me and had coffee with me. Cheers to you, Lillian, as well. Even if you are not an artist, you are still welcome to hang out on here. I have a lot of my collectors who hang out on here who are not artists. They just collect my paintings. So thank you, and a big shout out to them, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be able to do what I do. And if it wasn't for Karen and Creative Warriors, who are now joining because we just have opened, I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do as well, which is offer you creative people ideas and strategies to market your paintings and drawings online so that you can work right from the comfort of your own home. Oh, Karen, loved it. Have a great day. You as well. You as well, Karen. If you want to sign up as a Creative Warrior, go ahead and do so. Time's ticking. Thursday night, 12 midnight EST. The doors will close. So when the opportunity's gone, it's gone, you guys, because I'm not letting everybody in for $20 for too long. But this is your chance to get in now and become a part of our community. So if you do sign up as a founding member, your price will never go up. Even if you're with me for a year or 2 years or 3 years, however long you want to stay with me, your price is never going to go up. Can you cancel at any time? Yes, you can. But guess what? You're not going to want to because it's awesome. But you can if you want. All right. So I hope that you guys have a good day. Mwah. Love you all and see you soon.